announcement. I don't normally do live streams that often, and when I do, I try to do something that's important. And I'm doing a new series that I want to kind of introduce it to you on this live stream. For anybody that's watching, you'll be able to go over to www.quantumspirituality.net and be able to see it. I have a lot of free information on that website now that you're welcome to go over to see, learn about quantum from a lot of different perspectives. I have a lot of guest speakers that's been on my Zooms. That's also, I have recorded those and they're available there. But this is a new series here, and it's called Energy Vibrations Change Everything. Energy vibrations. Well, let's get right into the introduction. It's going to be very brief, but if you're interested, again, you can go over there to www.quantumspirituality.net and see what it's all about. It'll be a few days before I put anything up there. In fact, it may be next Monday or Tuesday before you actually see a lesson. But nevertheless, this will give you an idea if you're interested or not. You can literally have anything you want. That's a strong statement. You're only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination. I would just think about that for a moment. What am I really saying here? You are only limited by weakness of attention. Now, you and I have perception, will, reason, imagination, memory, and intuition. Now, all of these are faculties of higher thinking. This is what makes us who we really are. We're actually spirit beings, so down to visibility, as many are saying today. But it separates us from the kingdom, the animal kingdom, from who we are. Now, this Neville Goddard, which a lot of people that follows me have been studying Goddard perhaps longer than I have said this statement that I'm bringing to you again. You're only limited by weakness of attention. Now, that's a power statement if I've ever heard one. It's a marvelous, just marvelous, it's miraculous. The power force that the world has ever known is in our imagination. You can imagine and be any place in the world, and you can imagine and do anything. In fact, imagination is a gift from God because we are now one with Him. He's one with us. We're spirit. We're sons of God. That's a spirit. And so with our imagination, we can create, co-create with Him whatever you can imagine can be a reality. That's a beautiful thing to know. That's really a beautiful thing to know. So let's take a look at where the law of vibrations fall into this. It starts right in your own mind that activates brain cells. And when those brain cells are activated, you impact the whole universe. You've heard it, that we're all connected in this universe. And we are, because the whole universe is spirit. It was made by God. Now, a lot of people don't want to acknowledge that, but you can do your own research. Look at ancient history, and you can see that you didn't do it. I didn't do it. In fact, you had nothing to do about your birth. You may think you did, but you didn't. In fact, with the egg and the sperm meet, they can now actually see a light appear. Now, Jesus says that He's the light of the world. Light is energy. We are light people. We're energy. Do you know that through waves, thought waves, are cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space? See, do you realize that all of the movies and all the radio things that's been said over the many, many years are actually out into the universe? The sound is still there. Wow, everything is there because everything's energy, and that's a sound energy. It's mind boggling when you do just a little study and think on it a little bit. Now, I don't think the vast majority of us have ever been introduced to who we really are. Now, that is a power statement if I've ever made one before. I think that if a person started to show some promise of developing a healthy self-image, well, they'd be told that they're conceited. You shouldn't think that way. But the fact of the matter is this, that we've been given the ability to do that. Yes? Why not start doing a little critical thinking? That's a lost art today, if it's ever been done before, very much. I'm a read all the essays at Global Grace Seminary for my jobs. And what I found about most people are not adverse at doing critical thinking when they do their writing. And when I read posts on social media, I can assure you that most people do not do critical thinking. It's just whatever comes and pops in their mouth, that's what they say and do. So we've been led by a paradigm of what we've been programmed from conception until right now, which was part of my further lessons that I've been developing about we're just following the paradigm. Whatever our subconscious mind has been open to and receptive to and believed is who we think we really are. You can reject, you have the power to reject or accept. And that's some of the things that I'll be talking about in further lessons. So this is something that you may have interest in. And if you are, please go by, check us out over at www.quantumspirituality.net. There's a lot of free information there. And if you'd like to email me and say, I'm interested in this, I'd love to hear from you that you want to be available to watch these when I have them available. You just simply send me a little note, say, hi, Doc. I appreciate knowing about when you get these uploaded and they're ready to watch. You send a message to me at drcecil@iocc.us. That's iocc.us. I'd love to hear from you if this is interest of yours. And I hope it is, because as Einstein said a long time ago, everything's energy. Well, I think that's just the truth. So I'm going to end with just a little ending and say, be blessed today, as I always say, because you already are.